It's an American city with a quintessential American backstory about industrious people arriving in waves to carve out a home in the Highwoods of northern Illinois. First, the native tribes, followed by Scandinavian trappers, then others, duly noted by historian and Del Rio owner Bill Pagatti.
It was Irish because of the railroad. There was a big rail yard here, and they worked on the railroad. Then it was Italian because some people came here, looked around and said, holy cow, this is neat. And then all their relatives and friends came. And then when that thing happened, the Spanish said the same thing. We can live a good life here.
A good life built on hard work, an ethos well known to the Poeta brothers, Dominic and Luca, whose iconic Highwood grocery store and prime meat shop is approaching its 50th year in operation.
Our father came over here from Italy in 1961. He left Italy by himself, and he worked for Charles Fiore, who was a big nursery, big landscaping. He worked for Charlie Fiore for $1 an hour.
Sacrificing for his family.
He dug ditches from age 50 to 75. Wow. And if anyone thinks they could dig a ditch, go grab a shovel and go dig a hole and see how long you last. Maybe 5 minutes. He did it for 25 years.
A hard work ethic passed down to his children, who still pound away, day in and day out, doing their best to prepare, serve, and sell high-quality food while humorously undermining the truth about their own advancing age.
We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. I'm 50 years old, so I got another... Don't laugh. Why are you laughing? I'm 53, okay?
If you say so, Luca, smiling now at the distant memory of what it's like to risk everything on a dream. In 1977, Elsa Amadei, a young, newly married Italian immigrant, was at a personal crossroads.
And I was ironing for richer people, and I said, do I have to do this all my life? I don't want to do it. So I asked my husband, I said, Marco, if we put up a store, would you back me up? And he says, yes, honey. He didn't have to say honey, but he said, honey. Yeah, you do whatever you want, I'll back you up.
With great optimism, she opened Pastificio, using family recipes to create healthy, high-quality food options for Highwood and the surrounding communities. Who wouldn't want that?
And then the first year, my husband would come into the shop, and you know, when you don't sell, on the cash register, you see 0, 0, 0. So he would say, oh, honey, 0, 0, 100. And it was like if he was taking a knife and sticking it in my heart.
But Elsa persisted, never compromising on quality, until people from all over the North Shore took notice and started making the pilgrimage to that little store in that little city. Elsa eventually handed over the reins to her daughter Patricia, who then passed it on to her daughter Tatiana, both inspired to preserve a legacy born of old-school values.
My mom always said that buono con buono fa buono e meglio, which means good with good makes good but better. So whenever we were creating a recipe, she'd say, well, I'm going to put a little bit of this because le buono. And she goes, and then ci metto un altro po' di questo because that's buono too. She goes, how can it not be buono?
A commitment to excellence that is noticeable at first glance.
Because I'm very picky with what I like to set out in the store, and I've learned that from my mother and my grandmother. And I'm that way because I need to keep the traditions of the recipes and how it's made and the taste, and most importantly, because without those, then you don't have the quality, and then people won't come because it's not the same as it used to be.
Appreciating all that was and is still good, while being open to the benefits of new ideas, new businesses, new opportunities, new designs.
You can't stop progress.
Change happens.
Old goes out, new comes in. That's how this world works.
And it works best when a balance is struck between tradition and innovation. Highwood's iconic restaurant, Washington Gardens, established by the Scornavaco family, is now under the direction of a partnership headed by Ben Glazer.
I think the most important thing that I wanted to do when I took over this place was not only restore it to what it was when Alex owned it, but also keep the Highwood tradition of comfort and family and fun and excitement and just doing things the right way, being honest and having integrity. And I think that comes with being a Highwood business. And I think that we do a good job of promoting that.
Keeping standards high while clearing away the bureaucratic hurdles and red tape hassles so onerous to prospective business owners yearning for a chance to make their positive mark on society through new jobs, additional tax revenue, and the immeasurable value of good taste. Ami Sananis, a native of Israel, wanted to open a small restaurant featuring Jerusalem street food, and more than one person suggested Highwood.
In the beginning, I was a little confused. I didn't know really what to expect. But the city of Highwood, everybody in the city, from the building department to the permits they were like so helpful. They were so easy to work with. You know, I was like, oh my God, I'm so lucky that I came to Highwood, because otherwise I would not know how to start. And they were so nice and generous with me to help me out, and you know, I will always remember it to them.
A spirit of inclusion felt by beauty salon owner Martha Riano, whose multi-ethnic client base serves as visual proof of Highwood's community support for new waves of business owners grateful for the opportunity to become part of the family.
Siempre me han tratado bien. No tengo ningún problema con los residentes de Highwood.
My mom does feel very welcome in Highwood. She said that she doesn't have any problem or conflicts. Like, it's mostly good. A very welcome feeling for her, especially with how she communicates with the residents in Highwood.
Gabriel Vidi and his daughters Esther and Anna Maria have maintained a business presence in Highwood for decades and know that blind opposition to demographic change is a losing tactic.
No, you can't do that. That's silly.
What do you mean?
That's not growing. You know, we have to open our hearts up to everybody.
I mean, I think it's great that it's a community for people that have come in from other countries or have a culture from other countries that can come here and shop and be happy about it and get what they need.
After all, everybody, everywhere, was once just starting out, dreaming of something bigger, better.
I mean, look at my father, 88 years old. We were right next to Pagatti's in a little tiny office, one story, with, I think, my grandfather, maybe my dad, and one secretary, and now we're, 22 employees.
In 1977, Lenny Innocenzi opened a hot dog stand on the site of his grandparents' grocery store. The humble eatery became Buffo's, which Lenny recently sold. Despite no longer having a financial stake, Mr. Innocenzi is still around, helping out the new owners on a daily basis. Why?
It's a large family, and you're part of our family now. You're not out there alone, open up in a mall, and you're struggling yourself. You're competing against 10, 20 different stores. Here we want to work together, because everybody that walks in this restaurant walks in the other restaurants, the beauty shops, all the different places. It's a whole family trying to take care of the North Shore.
Feeding them, entertaining them, educating them, housing them, furnishing them. Ablaze, once a family hardware and paint store under a different name, has morphed into a thriving residential design firm with a retail component. Its original owner, Howard Lipsky, laying the groundwork for his son David, daughter Ava, and her husband George to make their own economic and social mark on the community.
I think people, when they walk downtown and they start noticing all the businesses outside of the restaurants, they really like, wow, there's a variety of businesses here.
And I think part of the draw too, and part of the reason why we wanted to move to Highwood specifically, move back to Highwood, was that you can just walk right into town. Because most of the homes really outline the city part of it. So that was a huge benefit, I think, for all residents, is that pretty much all of us can just walk right into town.
Even right downstairs into town. High-rise residences with more to come. A development welcomed by some and opposed by others.
Well, first and foremost,
I stand by the fact that reasonable people can disagree. And that's why it's important to come together as a community and actually talk about these issues and not hate each other for them. If you have the opinion of, I don't want tall buildings here or big condos, that's okay. And you should have the right to say that and talk within the community. I think that, personally, I think there's a good balance. I think directly around downtown is the appropriate area for something like that. And single-family homes should be protected away from them. Highwood has an interesting opportunity, and they've taken advantage of it, of building up the downtown. It certainly has upset some people in that regard, but thankfully that they've been able to express themselves publicly and work with the city to try to keep the traditions that they care about intact as well.
That's the stuff worth preserving. That's bocce.
That's tradition.
Preserved and reinvigorated by the all-volunteer cast and crew of Highwood's legendary bocce club, where the conversation often veers into old country territory.
I romani hanno fatto un culo così per farlo. I sordi fanno l'arte. We speak Italian, we sharpen the language again, and we have fun. We joke around. It's a good time here. It's a really good time.
Holding on to the old ways.
Yes.
The old ways never come back. It's impossible.
Yeah, but when you come here, this is the old way.
They come back.
Yeah, come back.
Courtesy of a city government and a populace willing to work together.
The mayor actually gave them the land, and every brick that was laid here was done by volunteers who wanted a place to congregate for the community, and the community is very tight.
And very open to expanding that community, says Tom Holloman, president of the Highwood Bocce Club.
Once upon a time, this club was a men's-only club, but I forget how many years ago we made that change. I think we actually lost a president as a result of that. But yes, the growth in women participation in our leagues, in our events, in our board, right, our leadership has been amazing. I think right now we're probably about 30 to 40% women, but it continues to grow. And as we look at the demographic, it is definitely by far the demographic that's increasing and growing the most.
Just as Highwood itself is evolving with new retail establishments, innovative gathering places, unique promotional events, all-inclusive music festivals, and more.
And I know people are jealous of us now too. I mean, you see on these Facebook, because I'm on these Facebook mom groups, saying, oh my gosh, why aren't we doing these things?
Of course, the best advertisement is word of mouth, a tactic favored by Lenny Innocenzi, who never misses a chance to talk up the city, and then keep talking, and talking, and talking.
Because I walk down the street and I stop in all the businesses and say hello to everybody and talk to them. And I just go to the bank to walk down to the bank, you know, which is a half a block. It takes me an hour to get back and forth. I have to stop everywhere and talk to everyone. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's living.
And we get paid by the hour, milking the job.
And the word continues to spread to nearby communities and beyond. People coming into town while the products of Highwood keep going out of town, shipped to all corners of the country.
I think that that's something that it makes me proud.
We sent stuff to Palm Springs, and the lady sent me the video of the dinner, of the food they were having from us. And one of the dishes was pasta prosciutto. And the guy that was eating it, he took a couple bites and he looked at her phone and said, where did this come from, heaven? This is the best dish I've ever had in my life. This is in Palm Springs, and it came out of our store.
Appreciation felt closer to home in a city where people are made to feel at home.
I mean, it's great to walk into a restaurant or a grocery store and you know them. They know my family, they know my parents, they know my grandparents. I mean, I love that history. It's great to be from here.
A rich and unique history.
I don't know any other towns that have at least, I'm going to say, 5 businesses that are over 50 years old, probably more, and still growing and still successful. So hopefully the younger people in this town or, around our area will look at that and want to be part of it because it's a great thing.
Greatness worthy of preservation.
And that's the important thing, is that it just gets passed on.
There is a concerted effort to be good people in this town, and that's why I love doing business here.
Vic Poeta, Luca's son, is poised to take over if or when his father and uncle eventually step aside, knowing full well what it will take.
Like, I'm going to need 20 people for the amount that those two still do.
It's amazing, right?
It's unbelievable. That's it. They don't make them like that no more.
Because of what they do make, and make so well.
Where's Luca?
He's downstairs working on meatballs.
Out of view, but never out of mind, given the care it takes to do it right. Highwood's mantra and legacy.
I'm not here to change it, I'm here to just make it better.
A philosophy passed down through the generations.
I know my part here in the restaurant is to keep us all going in the same direction. And that's to get better. My grandmother said, in this world everything changes, nothing stays the same. You only have one way to go, and that's to get better. And that's what we try to do. And I think most people in this little town do that. They try to get the next step a better step than the last one.
Keeping that balance between the new and the old. Where's your computer?
It's right here, right there.
Handwritten on butcher block paper.
My first year in business, we sold 20 turkeys. Last year we sold 500, 400 boneless. This year we'll probably get 500 boneless.
Wow. And this is the list.
This is the list that still has to be filled.
And fill it they do, year after year.
If we lose these lists, we're going back to Italy.
As if they'd ever want to leave this place.
I'm going to keep going as long as I can.
That's dedication. That's effort. That's love. That's community.
That's Highwood. That's Highwood.
Through the night, the day, and the years, a community performance worthy of applause.